you ever dreamed of starting an Airbnb business but just felt stuck on where to even begin? In this video, I'm going to walk you through the 5 simple steps to get your very first Airbnb up and running. And here's the best part: you don't need to own property or even pay rent to get started. So if you're serious about launching your very own Airbnb business this year, grab a notebook because I'm going to break it all down for you step by step. And before we dive in, make sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, because I share real strategies every single week to help you launch, grow, and scale your Airbnb business. And if you want a head start, I've actually put together a free 30-day Airbnb launch plan. It's linked in the description below. You can literally follow it step by step and have your business live within a month. All right, so let's jump into step number 1. And step 1 is think of a name. Now, you might be thinking, why does this even matter? Isn't the name just a very small detail? But here's the thing: your business name is the first impression that people actually get of your brand. And in a world where people just scroll fast, that first impression counts. You know, your name doesn't have to be perfect, and you definitely don't need to spend weeks stressing over it. I've seen people get stuck at this stage, and honestly, that's just procrastination disguised as planning. Here's what actually matters when choosing your Airbnb business name. Keep it short and memorable. Like, if people can't remember your name, they won't refer you to other people. You know, something like Stay with Ease or Cityness is much better than a long, complicated name. Make it easy to pronounce. Like, imagine someone trying to recommend your business in a conversation. If they stumble over your name, you've already lost a referral. And just hint at what you do. And you want the name to give people an idea of what your business is all about. You know, words like stays, suites, apartments, or homes makes it clear that you're in the accommodation space. And check availability. This is the part that most beginners skip. Like, before you fall in love with a name, check if the website domain and the social media handles are available. That way, when you start growing, you won't need to rebrand. And don't overcomplicate it. Like, remember, Airbnb guests, they're not hiring a law firm. They want somewhere comfortable and trustworthy to stay. Simple is always better. Like, when I first started, I spent way too much time overthinking my business name. And looking back, I realized it didn't even need to be perfect. It just needed to get me moving. What actually mattered was taking action and not being stuck at step number 1. And here's a pro tip for you. Once you've got a name, go ahead and register a professional email with something like james@cityness.com. It makes you look professional when you're emailing landlords and guests. And if this is already helpful, do me a quick favor. Hit that like button so that YouTube knows this is valuable and shows it to more people just like you. Okay, so that's step number 1. In the next step, we're going to move into the foundations of your business. And this is where most beginners make their first big mistake. You don't want to miss it. Step 2, set up your business foundation. Now that you've got a name, it's time to build the foundation of your business. And this is the part that most people either skip or they just overcomplicate. And when I say foundation, things that give your business credibility, the things that make you look like a serious professional instead of someone just trying Airbnb as a hobby. Now, here are the essentials. Register your business, and you don't need to set up a fancy company from day one, but it's a good idea to register a limited company. And why is that? Because landlords take you more seriously when you're a business, not just an individual. Plus, it protects you legally and financially. Next step is to set up a business bank account. Keep your business money separate from your personal money. Trust me, it's gonna save you a massive headache when it comes to taxes, bookkeeping, or even showing lenders your business performance down the line. And then get that professional email. Like I said in step 1, if you wanna level up, you gotta grab that domain, something like £10 a year, and then set up your info@cityness.com, james@cityness.com, or whatever names you like. That instantly makes you look more trustworthy to landlords, agents, and even guests. And then next is insurance. Depending on your country, you're going to want service accommodation insurance. It's not the most exciting part of the business, but it's absolutely necessary. One accident without it, and you will regret it. And finally is branding. Simple branding. You don't need a £5,000 logo. Just pick a clean color palette and use Canva to create something simple. Done is better than perfect in this situation. And here's the bigger picture I want you to understand. You're not just running an Airbnb listing. You're building a business that controls assets without owning them. And businesses have foundations. Think of it like building a house. You can decorate the living room all you want, but if the foundation is shaky, the whole thing is going to eventually collapse anyway. Like, again, when I started, I made the mistake of waiting until I had my first deal before setting up my foundations. And what happened? A landlord asked for my business details and I didn't have any. I looked unprepared and nearly lost the deal. It felt really sickly. Now, to be honest, it was a calculated risk that I was willing to take, and I would have rather just started than waiting to be perfect. But if you can, then just do it from the start. And by the way, if you're finding this breakdown useful, I've put together a completely free training where I go even deeper into how to secure Airbnb deals using my landlord partnership model. Again, it's linked in the description below. Definitely check it out after this video. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe because we've got more deep dive videos coming out every single week to help you launch and scale. Now, that's step number 2. Now, step 3 is where things start to get really exciting because we're going to cover how to actually find the right locations for your first Airbnb. And this decision alone can make or break your business. So step number 3 is choose the right location. So you've got a name and your foundations are set up. Now comes one of the most critical steps, choosing your location. Now let me be clear. You can have the nicest property, the best photos, even the catchiest name. But if it's in the wrong location, your calendar will stay empty, my friends. So how do you choose the right spot for your first Airbnb? Let's break it down. Number 1, follow the numbers, not your feelings. Like most beginners make this mistake. They pick a location based on where they live or where they feel would do well. But Airbnb success is not about feelings. It's about demand and data. So use tools like AirDNA and Booking.com's search filter to see which areas have high occupancy rates and good nightly rates. Like look for places near transport links, hospitals, business hubs, and tourist attractions. Guests don't want a nice home, they want convenience, not just a nice home. 2, test different guest demand. Think about who wants to host. Think about who you want to host. Business travelers, they're going to want somewhere near train stations or city centers. Families, they're going to want safer neighborhoods with space and parking. Contractors, they're going to want affordable properties near their job sites. Once you know your target guest, it's much easier to identify the right locations. Number 3, check the competition. Go on Airbnb and Booking.com and search in your chosen area. How many listings are there? Are they booked up? What prices are they charging? If everyone is fully booked, that's usually a green light. It means demand is strong. If nobody's booked, that's a red flag. Now, point number 4, think expansion and not just one unit. Again, this is where a lot of beginners limit themselves. They just pick a random property without long-term thinking. But the smartest play is to pick a location where you can grow. So for example, if you start near a hospital and it works, you could scale to 3, 5, or even 10 units in that same area, serving the same guest type. This is how you move from just another Airbnb host to building a real property business. And when I started, I made the mistake of choosing a location because it was close to where I lived. So I'm telling you this from experience. I thought this would be easy to manage, but there was no demand there. And it wasn't until I shifted my mindset from convenience to data-driven decision-making that everything changed. You know, I picked a spot near a busy transport hub, and within weeks, things went like that. Like that one shift taught me a golden rule: numbers over feelings, always. So that's step number 3. Now, once you've nailed your location, step 4 is all about actually securing deals. And I'm going to show you the exact strategy that I use that doesn't involve begging landlords or paying huge upfront rent. So step number 4, secure your first deal. So you got your business name, you got your business foundations, you've even picked a location that actually has demand. Well done to you. Now comes the part most beginners find the scariest, and that's securing your first deal. And here's the truth. This step is not about luck. It's about having the right approach. So the first thing you got to forget is the old rent to rent mindset. Now, most people think the only way to get started is by paying rent every single month, putting down deposits, furnishing the property out of your own pocket. It's actually the hardest and the riskiest way to start. Instead, I use what's called the landlord partnership model. Instead of paying rent, you partner with landlords and you manage their property as a short-stay Airbnb. You both win. The landlord gets higher returns and peace of mind. You get control over your property without the heavy upfront costs, right? And then next thing you want to do is build trust first. Like the landlords don't care about Airbnb. They care about, will you pay them reliably? Will you look after the property? Will you reduce their headaches, not actually add to it? So your pitch has to focus on solving their problem. For example, we take care of everything from guests to cleaning to maintenance. You, Mr. Landlord, still owns the property. We just help you earn more money from it. Now, the third step is to leverage key people of influence. Now, this is a shortcut hardly anyone talks about. Instead of chasing landlords one by one, connect with the people who already have the relationships with the landlords. estate agents, mortgage brokers, property solicitors, accountants, even tradespeople like plumbers and electricians. These people already have the landlord's trust. If they recommend you, half the battle's already won. And then step number 4 is to be professional in every interaction. Just remember the foundations you built in step number 2. This is where it pays off. Like when you approach a landlord with a business email, a registered company, and a clear plan, you stand out from 90% of people who just say, hey, can I Airbnb your house? When I was starting off, I thought I had to call hundreds of landlords. What actually changed everything for my business was building one relationship with a letting agent. That single relationship opened the door to multiple properties because they trusted me to handle their landlords' homes properly. So don't think small, think partnerships. And if you want me to walk you through the exact scripts that I use to speak to landlords and agents, I've put them inside that 30-day launch plan I spoke about, and you can grab it using the link in the description below. It's going to save you weeks of trial and error. And also, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button because next week's video is going to be a deep dive into negotiating with landlords. You do not want to miss it. Now, that is step number 4. You've got a business name, you start the foundations, you've chosen the right location, and now you know how to actually secure your first deal without paying rent or deposit. Now for step number 5, this is where you turn that deal into an actual live Airbnb business that starts generating bookings and cash flow. So step number 5, launch your listing and go live. So you've secured your first property. Now comes the fun part, like actually getting your Airbnb live so that guests can start booking. This step is where a lot of beginners either overthink or they rush it. Like, let me show you how to do this properly. First thing you want to do, so step number 1, take professional photos. Photos sell the property more than anything else. You can have the nicest property, but if your photos are dark and blurry, people are just gonna scroll past it. Why would I waste time doing that? There's all these other beautiful ones. And here's a pro tip. Open all the curtains, shoot in natural light, and always hire a photographer. It's a small investment that pays off massively. And step 2 is to write a compelling listing. Your listing description should do 2 things. Highlight the benefits. 5-minute walk to the train station, free parking, perfect for business days. Like, it should answer the common questions up front. You know, the Wi-Fi speed, check-in process, nearby amenities. Remember, like, don't just describe the property, sell the experience. And step 3 is to price smart. So here's another mistake most beginners make. They price too high at the start. What you want to do is actually start slightly below the market average for your first few weeks. This helps you get more bookings, build your reviews, and boost your rankings in Airbnb's search results. Once you've built momentum, then you raise the rates. Step number 4 is automate early. From day 1, use tools like a channel manager or even Airbnb's own automations to handle your check-in messages, reminders, and reviews. This makes you look professional, it saves you hours, and it keeps your guests happy. And then step 5 is collect and leverage all the reviews you can. Your first 5 to 10 reviews are gold. Like, guests trust reviews more than anything you say, all right? So go that extra mile for those first guests. Quick responses, thoughtful touches, even a welcome snack basket. Those reviews are going to fuel your long-term success. Like, I was definitely guilty of pricing too high when I first started because I thought I need to cover my costs, and the results, hardly any booking. When I dropped the price just slightly, bookings started coming in. Within 2 weeks, I had reviews coming in, my calendar was filling up, and I could gradually increase the price back up. The lessons from that is this: don't think short term, think about momentum in the long term. All right, so let's do a recap. Choose a simple, memorable name, build your business foundation, pick a location based on numbers, not feelings, secure your first deal using the landlord partnership, and then launch your listing the right way and go live. If you follow these 5 steps, you're gonna be miles ahead of most beginners who spend months overthinking instead of just taking action. Now, here's what to do next. Like this video if you found it valuable, subscribe so that you don't miss the deep dives that I've got coming each and every single week, and grab my 30-day Airbnb launch plan that is linked below. It literally walks you step by step through setting up your first Airbnb business. And if you want to keep learning right now, go check out my video on how much money Airbnb hosts really make. I'm going to link it here and also in the description as well. Because the truth is this: you don't need to own property or pay huge upfront costs to build a successful Airbnb business. You just need the right strategy, and now you've got it.